I've been waiting. Sunshine, why you playing? With my head on the time, you go way out of line.
Hey, it's your girl Serene. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Thank you for coming. Please come back again. I would really appreciate love and just cherish if you would subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and give me a thumb up. And if you want to leave a comment, it's up to you. It's your world down there. Do what you do. And I would love for you to go ahead and share, because sharing is caring. And more importantly, hit that notification bell so you can be made aware of every time I upload a video. Please, with a cherry on top. So, I'm coming to you with the newest updates for the Ahmaud Arbery federal trial, where the defendants are being charged with hate crimes. So, as we left off in the last video of the federal agents that testified about over a dozen, I believe it was a dozen approximately, or it could have been more. But it was a lady, federal agent, and she testified to all of the text messaging and social media posts that Greg McMichael and Travis McMichael and William Bryan had posted, shared, comment. They even discussed some that was on the community Facebook page for the Satilla Shores, which is where they lived at the time where the crime happened. And yeah, she testified to all of that. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that she she testified to all of that. So anywho, the next people to testify from there were actually like witnesses that they had discussions with. The first person they testified next would be the police officer. If you watch the state trial, there was a police officer's body cam that they played for the incident when... So, let's start from the beginning. That way I don't confuse nobody. There was a time, in between the times, when Ahmaud Arbery was going into the construction home that was under construction. It was a Friday, I believe it was. This was the first time Travis McMichael saw Ahmaud Arbery for himself. Going to the construction home. It was nighttime. He called the police, told them that he saw the black guy run into the house. He reached into his pocket, so he thought maybe he had a gun. So he sped off to his house and armed himself after calling the police. The police came. They called Mr. English, who owns the home that was under construction. And the police showed up with other officers, and they basically, you see them in this body cam performing an all-out manhunt for Ahmaud Arbery, who was already gone by that time. Literally, the police knows that there is about 3 civilians, because that's what they were, with guns, their own personal guns, walking around in the dark trying to find a man who he clearly stated in his body cam did not commit any crimes. Matter of fact, he repeated it to them, saying that there was no evidence that he stole anything. It says nothing, open quote, nothing has been taken, and the only crime we had was trespassing. He said he told the father and son duel that Ahmaud Arbery hadn't taken anything, and on the video, he's never recorded taking anything from the house. That he has not committed any crime outside of trespassing. Travis told him that they had been having a lot of burglaries and break-ins around there, which is what Travis told the 911 operator. I apologize. This is what Travis said to the 911 operator. The officer said that wasn't true. He testified there wasn't a single burglary in the Satilla Shores neighborhood where the McMichaels and Brian lived in the year before the shooting. He noted that items had been stolen from unlocked cars that was unlocked, including the things that was taken was guns and change, CDs. These are the type of things that was taken out of unlocked cars. Never anyone's home being broken into. No one's home being vandalized. Not even the construction. He also stated, this is Officer Rash, that the security cameras recorded a white man suspected of the other gun theft in the area. He also testified that a white couple carrying what looked like a canvas bag had been recorded in November 2019 walking into the same unfinished home, the one that's under construction, that Ahmaud Arbery had visited several times. He also said that Greg McMichael's attorney, Balbo, he said that it was Arbery's repeated trips to the unfinished home at night, not his race, that made McMichael weary of him. He asked the police officer, Officer Rash, would you agree with me, sir, that the fact that Mr. Arbery had been in the residence in the dark in October, November, December, and then in February, that made him a little suspicious? And the officer agreed. He also said that had the white couple repeatedly come after dark over and over, that would have been suspicious to him also. He also asked him if he would have caught him, what would he had done? And he said he would have just told Mr. Arbery that the owner did not want him on the property. He still wouldn't have got arrested or shot to death. Moving along. So after him, we have more testimony. So the next person who testified on that Thursday hold on, was this Thursday? I'm sorry. Okay, this is Thursday. I need this. Okay. So here we go. So the next person who testified also on Thursday after the officer testified was the special agent Jason Seacrest, and he showed photos and testified to the flag, the Confederate flag that was on a vanity plate on Travis McMichael Ford F-150. It was also stated that it's a little metal tool case in the back. If lift up, had a Confederate flag sticker on it, and the letters GOB underneath it, which they said they didn't know what that meant. So that was shown to the jury also. After he showed that to the jury, he went on to testify about his interview with Mr. Bryan, William Bryan. And he testified that, before we get there, he did testify that for whatever reason, after the shooting, Mr. Travis McMichael removed his vanity plate and the sticker from the back of his truck. And they don't know why he did it or what he did with them. But they had the pictures of it from the day of the shooting because they're in the videotape. Moving along. So Mr. Bryan interviewed with Agent Seacrest. He said that he asked William Bryan why did he decide to record what was happening, what was going on, what was in the incident. And he stated, I figured he stole something, open quote, end quote, open quote again. I don't know if he shot somebody, end quote. Which made no sense, which apparently the agent agreed with because he goes on to say, open quote, there was never a statement of a shooting or gunshots before this moment or shooting, end quote. So he didn't understand why he answered with that. The next person to testify from there was a person who considered himself a good friend to Travis McMichael. It says that he went to high school with him. His name is Derek Thomas. And he said they were good friends and they would like send each other different funny videos back and forth on Facebook. And he was the one that sent, which I believe I told you in the last video, a picture of a black man sticking a firecracker up his nose, and Travis McMichael commenting that it would have been funnier if he would have if the ninja would have blew his effing head off. Remember, I'm substituting ninja with the one word that they just love to call us black people back in the the racist days, which is still here. Yeah. So, that's who that good friend was. And he went on to say that he was very shocked at the reply he had got from him. And then in response to another video that he sent him, which showed a black person playing a prank on somebody else, and he said, I'd have killed that effing ninja. And during the cross-examination, he also testified that he was still close to Travis McMichael, still felt he was a good friend. He just didn't like the derogatory words he used towards African Americans. But he still checks in on Travis McMichael's mother and everything. But he did say that he still loved the man. He just hate the words he used describing African Americans, basically. So, also at the end of Thursday, So also at the end of Thursday, the jury got to hear from the man who actually owned the home that was under construction, which was Larry English. They got to see his deposition, which was taped because Larry English has health issues. They did the same thing in the state court where they played I think they played the deposition for certain parts, and then he was there to testify about certain parts. But he pretty much said the same thing he said in the state trial, which was he never wanted any vigilantes for trying to protect his home. He never asked the McMichaels to look after his home, go in his home. He never told them he wanted them to hurt Mr. Arbery in any type of way. He never asked for that. He never spoke to them about what was going on. He only spoke to Diego Perez, which is the neighbor that was across from his home that was under construction, and asked him to just kind of keep a lookout for kids going into the construction home because children were going in there playing also. Teens were going in there hanging out at the back dock doing what things teens do. And again, other people in the neighborhood was going in and out of this house also, and he had all of it on video. He also admitted that every time anybody, except for the children, went in that house, so we're going to say any adult that went in that house, he called the police every time. No matter who the adult was. He called the police every time because he didn't want to be responsible for someone going on the property and getting hurt. Period. So Friday is when we start off with other testimony from other people, co-workers, and other things. So the first one up we have is a who used to be a co-worker of Travis McMichael when he was in the U.S. Coast Guard a decade ago. Yeah, so she worked under him when he was there. At the time, he was a supervisor, and she said that she had been sexually active with an African American man, and when Travis McMichael found out, he called her the ninja lover, and she felt it was infuriating and disrespectful. He also made rude sexual comments towards her and stuff, crass jokes, mocking her, all that kind of stuff. She says she never reported it because at the time he was her superior. Travis McMichael attorney Amy Lee Copeland, she tried to say that, the lady name, I'm sorry, is Christy Ronquell, and she tried to say that Ronquell had told the FBI in a recorded interview that she was 90% sure he had called her a name using a racial slur, but she could never produce the tape that had her on there saying it. The next witness after that was a Kim Valestro Storios. I may be saying that wrong. If so, I apologize very much. So, she testified that Greg McMichael once mocked a black woman who he rented a home to. Now, this lady, Miss Kim, lived across the street from him at the time this happened. She does not live over there and was not living over there at the time the murder happened. She was living across from him way before the murder, and she said she was shocked that when she caught, I think she believed it was like 3 years ago, according to the statement, they ran into each other and they were having a conversation about the different tenants they had and how sometimes they could be difficult. And apparently at this time, Mr. McMichael had a black woman who lived in a home he was renting out, and his nickname for her was the Walrus. And he told her that he called her that because of her skin color and her size. He said that one summer he turned the woman's air conditioner off when she was late paying rent. And he said you wouldn't believe how fast that fat, lazy ninja paid the rent. She said she was surprised that he said such a thing. It was racist and uncomfortable. And she said, frankly, she felt disappointed. And that's an open quote, end quote. The next person was a Carol Sears. She was a real estate agent from Larchmont, New York. And basically, she was traveling to Georgia, Brunswick, Georgia, for a case that she had because her husband was killed by a drunken driver down there at that time. And this is when Greg McMichael was actually working for the DA office as an investigator. So they had him pick her and her daughter up and bring her to the courthouse and take them back to the airport. And on their way back to the airport, she was looking at her phone and got the saw the message that Julian Bond had died, which I believe I brought up in my last video also, and showed a picture of him also. And she said that he stated that I wish that guy had been in the ground years ago. All those blacks are nothing but trouble, and I wish they'd all die. She said that he continued to rant for a couple of minutes while she sat silent and stunned. She said, I didn't say a word. I was a little afraid. I had never heard anybody speak that way before or since. The next person they had was a Joe Mandela. He worked with the Travis McMichael on a Navy base. I believe he was working here when the shooting actually happened. And the guy Joe Mandela said that Travis McMichael was very openly admitting that he had shot and killed Travis McMichael, and he didn't understand why he wasn't in jail. And when he asked Travis McMichael why he wasn't in jail, according to Travis McMichael, he told him that Arbery was breaking into homes, and he claimed that Ahmaud Arbery had attacked him. He said when the video came out and he finally saw the video, he was shocked and upset, and he expressed that, again, he was surprised that Travis McMichael was not arrested at the time. He was, after watching the video, he said he reported it to his superiors so they could see the video and go from there. They said that he said he did it to try to get McMichael stripped of his security passes and access to the facility. And he said it took days without an arrest on record. Watching it was upsetting, and what happened was upsetting. That's open quote, end quote. So, yeah, basically that's how they go with them. So, after that last testimony, the state and the defense rested. The defense rested without ever putting any defendants on the stand. No witnesses or anything on the stand. So the defense and the prosecution rested after that last testimony, and the defense rested without putting anybody on the stand. No witnesses for any of the McMichaels or the William Bryan. Neither one of their attorneys produced any witnesses for anything. But I'm pretty sure at this point, none of them probably had any witnesses willing to stand up and testify on their behalf at this point. I'm betting. Especially if his own friend came to testify for the prosecution. I also, what can you say? Is so much evidence that shows they clearly were racist men, period. No way ifs, ands, or buts about that. But either way it go, the judge sent the jury Monday, which is when I will upload this video, they will be doing closing arguments. So when you get this video Monday afternoon, they will have been doing the closing arguments or already done with them, and then the case goes to the jury. And of course, once they come back with a decision, I will announce it in one of my shorts like I always do, so you can know what they were found. But at this point, I really believe they will wholeheartedly be found guilty. I mean, there's really no ifs, ands, buts about it. Even if you don't want to believe what anybody says, when they testified in the court, they written so much in their social media and through text messaging to other people. It's their own words. So, but yeah, this went quick. This trial went quick. But I really didn't suspect it to last long anyway, because like I said, the state stayed away from the whole racist theme, and I'm starting to believe it was because they knew that is what they were going to go for in the federal trial. So instead of using all of what they could have used, they basically just used the video, some of the neighbors, and then Travis McMichael testified on his own behalf in the state trial, and that pretty much told the story. He told the story himself right there on the stand. Like he said, Ahmaud Arbery never, through the whole thing, he never yet said a word. Not one word to any of them. Nothing. Nada. He never gave them the finger. He never said, "Leave me alone." He never turned around and cussed them out like most people probably would have done. He simply just kept turning and running away from them. Running away. Away. Travis McMichael admitted it while he was on the stand, and we all saw it in the video. Once again, I will say what it was, a modern day lynching. So we will see what the jury decide and how they feel, and how long it takes them to come back with a verdict, which I don't think will be long, but we shall see, because you never know what other people could be thinking. This jury is a good mixed race jury, so we'll see how that goes. Because for the state trial, all 12 were white. Every one of them. Which made that conviction even more meaningful. But we shall see. So if you made it to the end of my video, thank you so much for sticking around and caring. And again, please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and hit that notification bell on your way out so you can be made aware every time I upload a video. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
I swear.